This is the Geekery Update with Alan and Brian. I am Brian.
I'm Alan. Part of Lucas's plan for the sequel trilogy. Well, first of all, I don't know if you've seen this news recently.
Yes, the George Lucas book.
Yeah, like his plan was to have Darth Maul as the main villain for the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a character, Darth something. It was a female. She was a female Sith, but she was already in the comics. But that was going to be like the new Darth Vader, and that was Darth Maul's apprentice.
Okay.
So that's the new thing that's came out about George Lucas's plans.
Well, and George Lucas is that same book also confirmed that Palpatine is in essence Anakin Skywalker's dad. Like he created the midichlorians inside Shmi Skywalker.
Oh, right, because they pretty much played the whole Immaculate Conception thing up. And she had said, he never had a dad and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, So I remember watching The Phantom Menace, hearing that, and I'm like, I think I was 9. I'm like, okay, that makes no sense. Older I get, I'm like, so Anakin's like Jesus?
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Right? So I've watched a ton of YouTube videos, like Palpatine's master plan, how he got from episode 1, what he was before episode 1, and then Rise of Skywalker, right? And that was one thing that nobody could actually confirm, is did he create Anakin or not? And George Lucas's book basically confirmed that, he created the midichlorians that created Anakin.
Yeah.
He created, in essence, he created his next apprentice.
And which kind of, if you watched the last episodes of Clone Wars, and then when they made the Revenge of the Sith supercut, the whole storyline with Darth Maul there, I love that arc, and I loved how they added it to Revenge of the Sith, because obviously it was in the background of Revenge of the Sith. But like Maul is trying to tell Ahsoka about Anakin, about how this is Palpatine's apprentice. Like he is courting him to be his apprentice. You may not see it, but I'm trying to tell you this. And the way Maul is trying to explain this, he comes from like an insider thing, because he's like, I know, because I was Palpatine's. I was his apprentice. And then I wasn't good enough for him, so he cast me aside. But to think that he had already was creating Anakin before he even cast Maul to the side.
It wasn't like he just woke up and went, I'm going to be the Galactic Empire and I'm going to create clones.
Right? And then that whole Order 66, that was all orchestrated. And that was, all the clones. The clones was something that he orchestrated as well, because he was going to do Order 66. So, with the whole thing, what they did with the Attack of the Clones, where Obi-Wan had found something in the archives that was deleted or something, and it was this Jedi that was, that they deleted the records of him out, the Jedi that was contacting the people of the clone makers or whatever. Yeah, that was all Palpatine orchestrating that whole thing. Because Palpatine was part of the Galactic Senate. He was a senator, he was a chancellor, whatever. He was working it from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His plan was for the whole Naboo scene, like the Trade Federation, that whole thing was set up so he could become chancellor, and then he could become chancellor so he could execute the order to make the clones part, the army of the Republic. So
right. But okay, so before they came out with this whole Darth Maul being the big thing in the sequel trilogy, which I really hope they at least make that into a book or comic series. But another thing that George Lucas had came out with, that he was going to evolve the midichlorians into the Whills. The Whills were going to be these creatures that so he was going to evolve them into, right? And that was going to be a big thing about the sequel trilogy. Well, I didn't realize that they did not totally nix that. When I watched Rogue One again, there was the character Chit Chit or Chit Chewit or whatever. He treated the Force like it was a religion, right? More focused on the religion side. He was the blind guy. And then he would say,
I am one with the Force is with me.
Right.
I am one with the Force is with me.
And then they said that again on Clone Wars at the last episode where Ahsoka did that. And she was trying to help Captain Rex in the,
that was
in
awesome.
the brainwash.
That was
yes.
so good.
Oh, yeah. But, okay, so that whole, with Rogue One and with Chewit and stuff, that was, his religion was something about the Whills. And they talked about the Whills in that. So they obviously have something going on with the Whills. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's something.
I don't even know how it would work, but I would not mind if Disney was like, hey, George, why don't you go ahead and make that sequel trilogy you always wanted to make?
All right. Or, if they don't want George, then get Dave Filoni to do it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dave Filoni should be Kathleen Kennedy's position. Like, let's be honest.
Dave Filoni is George Lucas's Padawan. Straight up.